I'm LaDawn Davis, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. Transport Minister, the Honorable Frankie Campbell, says that partnership is already reaping dividends. He noted that a number of jobs have been secured for Bahamians on board one of the major cruise ships.
I've made it one of my missions to attempt to put a real live Bahamian on every ship that bears our flag. And to that extent, conversations in the industry has resulted in what I mentioned earlier. I believe it's Royal Caribbean, who has agreed that they will hire 250 locals, and they've already begun a partnership with the National Training Agency, who's preparing those 250 persons.
The Transport Minister said Carnival Cruise Lines has also agreed to provide berths to assist in the training efforts of students at the Lowell J. Mortimer Maritime Academy. This as efforts continue to raise awareness among young Bahamians about the employment opportunities available in the sector.
We have to defy the myth that Bahamians do not want to go out to sea. We have to do that by ensuring that young Bahamians are aware of all of the possibilities that exist on a ship, from engineering to hospitality service, etc. Because it has been the thought that you go on a ship and you're away from home without giving thought to the things that you can learn and be able to apply after your life on the ship. Financing, maritime law, becoming an agent.
The Water and Sewerage Corporation could be seeing some structural changes. These will include operations and business procedures. Chairman Adrian Gibson says these initiatives will also include voluntary separation packages.
And right-sizing and restructuring and realigning. All options must be on the table. In an effort to move the corporation towards profitability, there are various approaches that we will take. The reality is voluntary separation packages will be on the table, and persons will decide voluntarily, of course, and with incentives if they wish to leave the corporation's employ. And I think we want to do it as humanely as possible when that time does come, but in an effort to right-size and realign the corporation and move it towards a point of profitability.
On Monday, the Ministry of Tourism released a statement indicating that the Bahamas will facilitate the entry of Indian nationals who already possess United States, UK, or Canadian visas. Immigration Minister, the Honorable Brent Simonet, says the decision behind this move was made after seeing an increase in the number of Indian visitors coming to the Bahamas. He confirmed the Bahamian and Indian governments are also in the process of signing a visa waiver for diplomatic passports. Currently, Indian travelers have to go to the British High Commissioner there, and they reportedly hold a passport for an average of 45 days. As it stands now, the Immigration Minister says the Bahamas is not user-friendly for Indian visitors, and government is looking to address this issue.
They tend to stay for quite a long period of time because obviously the distance they're traveling. So what the government has considered is that persons with Indian passports who have either a US visa, a Canadian visa, British residency visa, or a Schengen visa will be allowed entry into the Bahamas, and they'll get their visa at the airport on payment of a fee of $100. And we now have to come up with the mechanism whereby when you land at the airport, whether you use a credit card, you do it online.
And when does that take effect?
We're trying to get it in as soon as we can. Okay. It's the mechanisms that are holding us up.
Lab professionals at the Princess Margaret Hospital can expect more competitive salaries. Minister of Health, Dr. Dwayne Sands, delivered the good news during the opening ceremony of Medical Laboratory Professionals Week. Dr. Sands says the government will also seek to implement a medical technological program at the University of the Bahamas.
My pledge to support the re-examination
an increase in salary scales for health professionals working in medical laboratory careers. And we will do this as a part of a larger review across our health system with an eye to addressing health careers where the country is facing critical shortfalls in staffing and recruitment. Likewise, I am also committed to engaging with the PHA and the Ministry of Health in a dialogue with respect to providing greater incentives to attract and retain laboratory professionals and other allied health professionals.
Lab professionals welcome the good news. They say the incentives will go a long way in boosting staff morale and performance. The incentives will also enhance the profession with the anticipated recruitment of new faces.
I think the position for salary increase and incentives is long overdue. I think we in the lab, we work extremely hard. We give 110%, and I think that this is welcome doors to us, and you can see bigger and better things from the lab, both here in PMH and around the entire Bahamas.
Well, we just want to invite those science students out there into the field of medical technology. It's an exciting field. It's a promising field, and with the promise now of the minister to review and upgrade the salaries of medical technologists, we are sure we'll be able to attract even more science high school type students who will be interested in the field of laboratory.
A team headed by Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis will present the White Paper on Economic Empowerment Zone to restore the inner city community during a town hall meeting on Wednesday, May 2nd at the C.R. Walker High School. Press Secretary Anthony Newbold talked about some of the topics to be discussed at that meeting.
This White Paper will outline the tax incentives and nuances of how that program will work to provide economic relief to the inner city. What will also be discussed during that town meeting, some of the targeted programs and initiatives to improve the lives of all residents over the hill, and certainly for some of those areas that are troubled by any number of things.
And still to come, the pop-up market headed to the inner city this past weekend. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, first at 6.
BTC is giving the gift of rollover data, plus free unlimited WhatsApp calls, texts, pictures, and videos. Choose from our 1-day plan for $349, 7-day plan for $9.99, or our 15-day plan for only $29.99. We've even thrown in unlimited BTC to BTC calls and texts. Dial *203# to activate your plan today. Share every moment with BTC. Terms and conditions apply.
Are your monthly bills coming in on top of your holiday bills? It's time for a change. Bundle your bills into one low-rate loan with Commonwealth Bank. Move your high-rate loans and credit card balances from other banks to a low-rate consolidation loan at Commonwealth Bank. Less stress, less to pay, each and every month. Plus, the chance to win $5,000. So make a change. Get a consolidation loan at Commonwealth Bank and pay less.
Accepted. You're always sharing everything. You share the umbrella, the weekend, the blanket, and even your favorite towel. We know that you always share, but not KFC's Genuine Big Box, made fresh for only you, with 2 pieces of chicken, 2 spicy wings, coleslaw, fries, biscuit, a cookie, and a soda, all for just $10 including VAT. Easy to enjoy, hard to share.
Coca-Cola Bahamas has always been a strong community partner for us. They've supported and helped us to
reach hundreds of young men through Sprite basketball,
create a fun and interactive United FC,
go a little bit further for our animal friends,
feed thousands of Bahamians every year,
preserve our natural habitat,
and celebrate Bahamian culture and Junkanoo on Bay Street.
The Caribbean Bottling Team is committed to the communities that we serve around the entire Bahamas.
This portion of the news brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking.
Residents of Maine and Grantstown flocked to a pop-up farmers market on Meadow Street over the weekend. The Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation is now facilitating farmers markets in 2 locations. In addition to its Gladstone Road site, vendors set up shop at the Mother Butler's Park. They were there from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. selling fresh vegetables and fruits at affordable prices. The pop-up market initiative was launched by BAIC 13 weeks ago. It complements the Ministry of Health's push to encourage the nation to adopt healthier eating habits. Customer Ariskia Clark believes the initiative is a timely one.
The price is very reasonable and is much convenient instead of going all the way to Port-of-Ski, because you can't everybody have chance to go to Port-of-Ski to get, to get stuff like this. And it's really reasonable. I love sweet potato. I'm a freak for sweet potatoes, and I have my onions, the big ones and the small ones that you slice.
Local water producer KLG Investments has received the Best Buy Award for the best quality ratio for its Aquapure brand and bottled water. The prestigious international award is an endorsement of products, services, and goods that meet the strict international quality standards at a reasonable price. We sat down with executives of the leading water producer to talk about the award and what it now means for business. They say H2O is a vital source of life, and for more than 4 decades, Aquapure has been providing its customers with that key source across this country. It's a commitment by the brand that has stood the test of time, and recently it paid off after the company received the Best Buy Award for the best price and quality ratio by the International Certification Association based in Switzerland. It's an award Christian Knowles says caught the company by surprise.
We pride ourselves on our quality and the lengths in which we go to make sure that we have a very, very quality-centric product. We were very, very happy, very surprised when we found out. The Best Buy Award has to do with price-quality ratio, which made us even more happy because, we're not the cheapest on the market.
Aquapure's manager Christian Knowles says despite an uptick in business for bottled water over the years, the sale for Tampico has declined.
We've not had a very, very good year, and we we chalked that up to the reduction in duty. Last year they reduced the juice duty by about 50%. And our sales have gone down significantly because of the duty rate.
But that decline hasn't stopped the leading bottled water producer from reaping positive results. A few days ago, Aquapure received news of winning the Q-Doll medal for the 2nd time around. As the company continues to grow, Knowles assured its valuable customers that several new products could hit the shelves real soon.
We have a few things that we're looking at. It's always good to kind of keep your eye down the road. Manufacturing, in particular beverage manufacturing, when it comes to new products, there is a formula and there's a methodology that goes into launching new products, and we have a few that we're looking at right now. I don't want to say anything yet, but we may be coming out with something. We may not be coming out with something. It depends on the WTO. What's going to happen? Are we going to invest in new things, or are we going to have a different fight for a different day? I think that's important.
Let the Children Play was the name of last week's government preschool's costume parade organized under the Department of Education's Early Childhood Care and Education Unit. Senior Education Officer from the Ministry of Education, Ellen Rodriguez, spoke about the parade.
We are taking the road just to spread the awareness of the importance of early childhood education, and we want to highlight the importance of play in early childhood education.
Chairperson for the Government Preschool Parade 2018, Ernestine Sears, explained just how important the event is for them.
This is a very auspicious time for us in the preschool. This is a time where we come together as one to communicate, collaborate, and share experiences, and to also have fun. But everything in the spirit of learning, having fun, and growing. And as our theme says, let the children play.
And stay with us. Sports is up next. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, first at 6.
That portion of the news was brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, the leader in personal banking services.
At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we provide imaging services to meet all your family's needs. Same goes for imaging at Grosvenor. We're the imaging experts. We never schedule multiple appointments, so you'll be in and out in no time. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiology specialist can consult your doctor and conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Results are ready within 24 hours. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
We'll be with you through new beginnings and sunset endings, through toil and many tears, through the joys and many fears. For all of life's ever-changing moments, trust J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers for all of your insurance needs. J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
Imagine you have Hollywood at your command. Introducing Flow Evil.
Red cheese, gold rings, all black, everything creeping through the night.
Anywhere you are.
Big girls don't scream hard like Halloween, make me feel alive.
There's a world of entertainment here, and you run the show. Flow Evil.
Yeah, child, I can ride this right on this rim. Y'all guess what? What? I ain't got no spare. Let me just get a jump from the hacker. Nah, this flat. Guess what, pa? If you back around the corner of Wolf Road, there's a tire too. I go in there right now. No one looking nosy, Shirley. Get a shut up in my head in the back there. Stop making nerds. Hey, sweet boy. Give me one of them tires. And while you at it, check this spot.
Epic Wolf Road now has tires too. Why not replace your tires on the weekend? Wolf Road is open 7 days a week, including holidays. Visit us today.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Kelsey Johnson. Here's your first look at sports for Tuesday. A couple of hard-hitting bouts scheduled to take place in the Second City Freeport Grand Bahama. Son of the Soil, Sherman the Tank Williams is expected to headline the card dubbed the Backyard Rumble on May 26. Williams will step into the ring with the former light heavyweight champion of the world, Ifano Dynamite Mendoza from Colombia. The 10-rounder is the spark needed to reignite the sport in the country.
Yeah, the future is looking bright. The fight here will be on the 27th in April, and then in May 26, we're looking with Bahamian Sons to kick off the first show in Freeport, Bahamas, and this is going to be spectacular. It's going to be a platform where fighters from all over the world can come and show their abilities, but most importantly, we can start to build Freeport, my hometown.
The news of the 10-rounder with Sherman the Tank Williams and the former light heavyweight champion of the world, Ifano Dynamite Mendoza from Colombia, comes on the heels of a successful election in the Bahamas Amateur Boxing Federation. Newly elected President Vincent Sherman outlines what's next for the sport.
We have a plan that will certainly enhance the whole country, not just New Providence or one or two out of the family islands, the entire nation. And to that end, if I may add, we are about to select persons from every family island, at least 4 to 6 persons, bring them to New Providence for at least a week, and we will begin to train them as coaches, referees, and judges. One of the main things we need to do is have persons in these islands qualified. And once they would have qualified at the local level, then we will seek to go at international. We'll have a cadre of trained officials, referees, and judges.
Outgoing President Wellington Miller is pleased with his term while at the helm.
I had a very successful tenure as president. I enjoyed it. We had boxers rated number 5 in the world, number 9 in the world, Reno Johnson. We had boxers, we won gold medal at the CAC Games, silver medal at the Pan Am Games, 2 bronze medals at the Commonwealth Games in 2010. The Continental champion in the Americas, we were rated number 1 and number 2. So My tenure was very, very successful.
The Bahama Boys, that's the men's national beach soccer team. They have some tough matches ahead this weekend, and they will need your support.
The Bahama Boys want you guys out there, seated by 5. The first game started at 6, but it's going to be a jam-packed stadium, so come out at 5 to watch the first game, and then we'll be right there at 7:15 kickoff, April 27th to the 29th.
Yeah, definitely. I'll say to the Bahamian fans, we've been training very, very hard the past 6-7 weeks. We've put in the work, and so we've prepared ourselves for you guys to come out and have a great show for this tournament. So all we ask is each person to come on out, bring your cowbells, bring your colors, bring everything to root on the Bahamas, and that's all we need, and we're going to get the job done.
From the baseball diamond on Monday night, Todd Isaacs Jr. went 1-for-3 in the Lake County 2-1 win over Western Michigan. Chavez Young hit his first home run of the season. He finished 1-for-4 and batted in 3 runs in Langston's 10-7 win to Daytona. Anthony Seymour went 1-for-3, 1 run and an RBI in Florida's 6-3 loss to Daytona. The 2 professional women's basketball players, Jonquel Jones and Waltia Roll, working out together. Both are home and are training during their off-season. Jones plays with the WNBA with Connecticut Sun. Roll is in Europe playing with Edgemet of Turkey. Yolette McPhee-McQuinn has hit the court and she's ready to make the shot. It has only been 2 weeks since she has been named head coach of the University of Mississippi women's basketball team.
Everything's really busy because we have a huge recruiting weekend coming up, and at the same time I'm trying to assemble the right staff here for the University of Mississippi while working with the team and the roster, trying to figure out who's going to go and who's going to stay. So it's been very busy, very intense, but I'm embracing it all. I'm going to make a hire today on the staff, and then I have about 6 other spots I need to fill, but 2 more coaches and then support staff. But it's just been an incredible joy. The support I've had from everybody has been tremendous, and you know, it's a tough job. It's a lot of work to do, but I'm ready for the challenge.
That's your first look at sports. Don't go anywhere. There's more to come.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
You thought it was the talk of the town, but get ready for more.
More energy, more excitement, exhilarating, compelling, informative, educational talk on The Conversation.
I'm Shanique Miller. Pull up a chair with a cup of tea and join me weekdays at 4 on Radio Bahamas, 1540 AM, 104.5 FM, and The Light, 810 AM for The Conversation. I'm excited to have you around the table.
Everybody, I on TV. Look, I on TV. Mom, guess what it is? That's me. Bartender, do you see me? I on television. I gotta tell my girlfriend I on television.
Hello?
Babe, turn your television to ZNS.
Quick, I'm on television. I don't have a TV in here.
We have Wi-Fi though.
We have Wi-Fi.
That's fine. They upgrade now. You can watch it live from your phone.
You just have to download the app. All right, hold on. Go to the App Store, type in ZNS, download the app, and you'll be able to watch ZNS straight from your phone. Hurry up before it's over again.
Get your news and more anytime, anywhere with the new ZNS app. Stay connected from around the globe with our live stream news updates, all in the palm of your hand. You can also listen to the ZNS Radio Network for your favorite music. Go into your Apple or Google Play Store and download the ZNS app today.
Miss I's a star now. I still gotta pay.
What amazing idea to go into the communities and into our world and into our country and into the homes of people and into the lives of outstanding and extraordinary people all over the country. I think that telling those stories again helps us to connect to the notion of okay, how can I live a better life? How can I be better? This is how this person achieved it. Where can I find common ground so that my life can match up as well? And so Ordinary People is an amazing, amazing concept, and I'm excited to be a part of the Ordinary People family.
Hi,
this is Bodine, and I am so happy to be able to find everything I need and more to live a fabulous life right here at Bahamas Design Center.
For all my cooking needs, for everything for entertaining my friends,
or just plain relaxing, Bahamas Design Center has it all.
Check out their Old Fort Bay store, their Airport Industrial Park Home Center, or their location on East Bay Street. Bahamas Design Center. Fabulous stores for fabulous living.
Agriculture Now returns to the ZNS Network Thursday, May 3rd. Learn about the country's capacity to feed itself through farming and fishing, and the importance of these industries to the economy. And find out how you can grow some of your own food right in your backyard. Tune into Agriculture Now beginning Thursday, May 3rd at 8:30 p.m. right here on the ZNS Network.
Caribbean News this Tuesday, Barbados Fertility Center, a JCI accredited center of excellence for IVF on the Caribbean island of Barbados, is taking the unusual step of flying in the medical team to host a fertility conference in Miami on May 5th due to overwhelming demands from Florida-based patients. Infertility affects 6.1 million American couples, which equates to approximately 10% of American couples of childbearing age. Often fertility treatments are not covered by United States health insurance plans, so many couples find they have to self-fund the treatment. In leaked footage of a meeting held during the 2018 Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in London last week, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell admitted to there being just a slight possibility of oil and natural gas being discovered in the territorial waters of Grenada. Both further drilling and firm confirmation is needed, despite having said at a campaign rally just 3 days before the 2018 general election that oil had actually been found. As repercussions from the Facebook personal data scandal continue to make waves around the world, a new directive from the European Union could have a major impact on the bottom line for many Cayman Island companies that hold any personal data of EU citizens. The Cayman Data Protection Law, which comes into force next year, is intended to give Cayman a modern framework for protection against the misuse of individuals' personal data.
Time now for weather.
In our first look at weather, prefrontal showers and thunderstorms now moving offshore, but a second area is moving towards the south and east over Grand Bahama and Abaco, and that will be followed by a frontal boundary tomorrow afternoon in the northwest Bahamas. But outside of our studios, we have partly sunny skies, temperature 81 degrees, your relative humidity at 73%. The winds are out of the southeast at 7 miles per hour. Your barometric pressure 1,014.6 millibars. That is 29.96 inches, and it is steady. That's going to do it for your first look at weather at 6. Stay tuned, more weather is still to come.
Thanks a lot, Basil, and that does it for the Bahamas tonight, first at 6. But don't you move. News from the north is up next.
The hands of students in the West. Western Air preparing to service new routes. And the Christian Council lamenting the need for a homeless shelter.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening all, I'm Shashina Rolfe-Farquharson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topic news: technology continues to shape the world, and students at a primary school in West Grand Bahama are now on the cutting edge of technology, and that's thanks to an investment by an American businessman. The generous donation was made today during a special assembly at the school. Sabrina Brown was there.
It was a red-letter day for the administration, staff, and students of the West End Primary School, as Texas businessman and philanthropist Carl Allen and his wife donated 45 Amazon Fire tablets to that institution, a commitment he says he made to Principal Navidia Mills several weeks ago.
I met Mrs. Mills and I looked her in the eye and says, "What can I do? What do you need here?" And she immediately kind of smirked at me and said, "Well, we've been looking to get these tablets." And I said, "You know, these things over here, well, that's easy. We can do that, you know. We'll be back." And so I think it was about a month ago, and here I am, I'm back. Fulfilling a commitment this year.
The Bahamas Telecommunications Company played a major role in ensuring that the school was well equipped to utilize the electronic devices. Service Delivery Manager Sean Bowe.
BTC have provided the high-speed internet access so that the kids can have access to the internet and they can utilize these beautiful tablets.
Principal Navidia Mills and District Superintendent Ivan Butler are grateful to the Allens for helping West End Primary to advance in technology.
With technology, the classroom is a happier place. Students are excited about being able to use technological devices which they love and are therefore more able to learn and, more importantly, to retain information.
We recognize also in education that technology makes a difference. We embrace the technology, and so we are very, very grateful.
Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, Pakeisha Parker Edgecombe, believes this donation will go a long way in the overall growth and development of the students.
This brings a lot of attention to West End Primary and indeed our education system, because indeed the government of the Bahamas is very vigilant in its efforts to ensure that our primary school students, and by far our educational system, is one that we can all be proud of. With your contribution and your investment in our children today, we are so ever grateful and appreciative, and we know that it's going to go a very, very long way.
The students were given a demonstration on how they will use the devices in the classroom. They are grateful for the special gift.
I want to say thank you for bringing us these tablets.
It will help us to learn more and get more education.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Thank you, Sabrina. Now the Bimini Primary School will also receive a similar donation, and that's courtesy of their MP, Pakeisha Parker Edgecombe. Well, a local carrier, Western Airlines, is set to expand its services, and tonight the VP of Operations shares the company's plans going forward. The largest privately owned airline in the Bahamas, Western Air, has some 140 employees throughout the Bahamas. VP of Operations and General Counsel Shiraxia Roll says the family-oriented business has been so successful thus far because customer satisfaction is their #1 priority.
So customer service, it's important for us to know our customers, and I like to see the familiarity that our agents have with a lot of our frequent flyers who we see on a day-to-day basis. And I think that kind of familiarity separates us from our competitors.
She says very soon their aim is to expand to jet services, and with growth comes some challenges.
There will be some official announcements that come in a few weeks about Western Air acquiring 3 Embraer ERJ-145 jets. And we've been working very closely with Bahamas Civil Aviation Authority to not only make this certification process smooth, but very time efficient. And we wanted to personally invest in the flight crew and the personnel that we've had all this time, who have really become a staple in this company. So as a result, we've had Flight Safety International fly into San Andres, and they have been training our maintenance staff. And we've also had to send a lot of our pilots. We're sending them out in groups to Missouri to do training in the ERJ-145 jets.
But she says as the company invests in their aircraft, they are doing the same with their employees.
These are the captains and the flight attendants and the first officers and the maintenance staff who has been with us for many years. They are incredibly experienced. Our passengers like and enjoy their service, and we wanted to upgrade their qualifications so that they are prepared when we upgrade our fleet.
And the good news is, with the new expansion comes many employment opportunities in addition to new routes.
We plan on adding additional routes from here, from Freeport, whether we're going into Bimini or Marsh Harbor. Those are some of the routes that we are considering. And of course, internationally, we are looking at going back to Jamaica and going to Santo Domingo, as well as possibly the Turks and Caicos.
Well, there's another hiccup in the Barry and Sheena Johnson murder trial in the Supreme Court. Our Italia Hall has this report.
Not much activity took place during the morning session of the Barry and Sheena Johnson murder trial. Prosecutor Neil Brathwaite telling the court that representative for defendant Kevin Dames' attorney Carlton Sherlin was in court but left and noted that he would be back in 10 minutes. Justice Estelle Gray Evans responded by saying that she and the jurors should not have to be held hostage waiting on counsel, adding that she is there every morning at 9 a.m. and she really does not want to adjourn. Counsel for Devon Hall, attorney Jethlin Barrows, then spoke, telling Justice Evans that it seems as if attorney Sherlin had an emergency. Attorney Jeffrey Farquharson also weighing in, noting that it would not be fair to defendant Kevin Dames for the court to proceed in the absence of his counsel. Justice Estelle Gray Evans said that she understands, but attorney Sherlin was here and it is frustrating and annoying. Paul Belazaire, Devon Hall, and Kevin Dames are standing trial for the murder of Barry and Sheena Johnson at their home in Holmes Rock back in September of 2015. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Italia Hall.
Thank you, Italia. In other news, the Grand Bahama Christian Council commending the Grand Bahama community for its show of support for Samantha Schroeder, a young woman who has fallen on hard times and has been living in her car. The council believes that Samantha's story underscores the urgent need for a homeless shelter. President of the Grand Bahama Christian Council, Reverend Dr. Robert Lockhart, says his heart smiled after seeing the community's immediate response to the needs of Samantha Schroeder. He is commending those who have pledged their assistance to help the young woman.
I was able to go by her residence on Monday, and there was a multitude of persons there, mostly contractors, who were willing to give free labor, building materials, to assist that young lady. The Grand Bahama community is to be commended for their willingness, especially those from the construction field who were willing to help in that situation. And I want to commend ZNS for sensitizing the community, because I'm sure she's not the only person.
He says the community should be further sensitized to issues like this one.
We have churches in every community, and we need to make sure, pay attention to these people, see how we can help them, but we have to partner with government, Port Authority, private businesses, and civic groups to provide assistance for these people. And then also, where the church also play a role, people like these need counseling. They need advice about how to bring their lives to a place that they can be productive.
Apostle Rita Stewart says Samantha is not the only person in the community living under these conditions.
In fact, a prayer group that I'm affiliated with right here, we meet every second Tuesday in the month right here at Calvary, and we pray for the nation and for the homeless and the poor. There is a group out of that group that goes and minister with food, items, and clothes every Saturday in the International Bazaar to those persons who live in the building. And there are persons in there, they have no water, they have no light, and they dress up and they go to work right from that place.
Reverend Dr. Lockhart, along with Reverend Dr. Elvis Burrows, says this is why a shelter is needed on this island.
So that these people will not be sleeping out on the streets at night, and at the same time, we can pull together to see how we can help these type of people in our community.
There are a lot of folks who may be homeless, who may be on hard times, not because they are no good, because they are lazy or just don't want to work. There are some folks who genuinely want to work but can't find work and find themselves on hard time.
Well, the Member of Parliament for Pine Ridge, Frederick McAlpine, says an account has been set up at 2 locations for those wishing to donate funds for the reconstruction of Samantha Schroeder's home.
As we respond as a people and community, we are asking for your assistance through monetary donations for the purchase of materials. An account has been established at Kelly's Freeport Limited and Gold Rock Corp Limited in the name of Pine Ridge Community Outreach. We ask that you make the checks payable to the hardware establishments for the Pine Ridge Community Outreach. As the need arises, this team will seek to help others in the community at large. So your contribution will go a long way in assisting others from time to time.
Now, he says he believes that this is the best way to organize relief for Samantha and others.
We have sought to channel everything through the Pine Ridge Constituency Office located 30C, Kipling Building, downtown Freeport. We're trying to make it a one-stop shop in fulfilling the goals of Samantha and the future of others. No check is to be made payable to any individual, but to Kelly's Freeport Limited and Gold Rock Corporated Limited for the Pine Ridge Community Outreach account for either establishments. However, you may drop your check off at the constituency office, payable to any of the establishments aforementioned, or you can call the office and we can retrieve the check from you and we will take it to the business establishment for posting.
Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, continues in just a moment.
Portion of the news is brought to you by Dolly Madison, Freeport's original home center.
It's time to go green again
with tropical palms from Dolly Madison, Grand Bahama. You asked for it, and Dolly Madison's got it. Flowering trees, tropical palm trees, landscaping trees, indoor and outdoor plants, fruit trees, vegetable plants, and seeds galore.
It's time to go green again.
Yes, it's time to restore your yard and outdoor sanctuary. Make your home and garden green again. But hurry while supplies last.
Come on down now.
Zion United Baptist invites you to their 47th Annual District Convention, May 1st through the 6th, 7:30 p.m. nightly at Central Zion Baptist Church, downtown 8 Mile Rock. Plan to attend.
ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Watch our live channel to keep up with what's going on in the nation. News updates, we've got you covered. Tune into our radio stations with just a swipe. On the road, on the go, we're here with you. Available for download on the App Store and the Google Play Store.
Covering the Northern Bahamas, you're watching the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The 59th annual E. Clement Bethel National Arts Festival has wrapped up its sessions here on Grand Bahama, and adjudicators were more than impressed with the level of talent among the students. Our Kimberly Mullings has this report.
Students and performers across Grand Bahama in the arts have been participating in the National Arts Festival before adjudicators for a chance to compete nationally. The judges have seen drama pieces, musical selections by individuals and choirs, bands, and even rappers. Synovia Pierre, Senior Cultural Affairs Officer, says that after being in Grand Bahama for nearly 2 weeks, as usual, their preparation was phenomenal.
We see students from the East End, we see students from West, we see students from here in Freeport, private, public, community, dance, art, drama, everything. And the teachers, one thing that we know is that they take what the adjudicators say, they come back and they always Their performances are always on another level. Year by year, we can see the growth.
Tabernacle Baptist Christian Academy took the top spot in the choir category with a reggae performance. Members Joshua Dames and Wilbert Stubbs said they were pleased with their win.
Great experience once again. I mean, our teacher, we give all props to Miss Moore. She has our choreography on point, every harmony, every vocal, everything with our group is basically up from her. Like, she put everything together and we just perfect it.
We actually came second in the gospel solo, so we had one more choir performance. It's like we have to come out on top, and we did what we had to do and came out on top. We've been together for so long, it's like a family type bond now. So like all us, we look out for one another. If one person offbeat, the whole group was offbeat. So that's how we look at it, and we just put our little twist to it and had a little fun, and we came out on top.
St. George's High School was the only participant in the band section, so they were the automatic winners, performing pop and Bahamian selections. Band member Janiqua Evans says that they had a great performance.
Whatever the band practiced, we did our best, and we still leave it all on stage. After the Nationals Festival, I believe that we'd get places with this little exposure that they, and I feel that we'd go a long way.
Kimberly Mullings, ZNS Network News.
And now to our Generation Y report. Tonight, we will meet a young woman whose passion and talent is paving the way for her. Her love for cosmetology has led her to explore hair care products, and it may have landed her a successful business. Italia Hall has more on this story.
For Darnay Roll, it all started back in 2014 while she was enrolled in the cosmetology program at the Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute. While there, she says she learned how to make her own products, and in 2017 she created a hair growth oil from the hibiscus flower.
I tried it for about 6 to 7 months, and after I noticed the healthiness and the growth within my hair, I said, hey, I can share this, but also turn it into a business for myself.
Roll says the job can become a bit stressful, but thankfully she has a lot of support from her family.
I graduated, I was 20, and I wondered, where would I be in the next 5 years, 10 years? And I started this a year ago, like I said, and it was first just me giving it to family. Then it was a few hairdressers hearing about it, and they're interested in it.
She says so far she's gotten positive feedback. The process involves stripping the flour, cooking it, straining it, and then it all goes through a filtration process before it's bottled.
I derive different proteins, different fatty acids, and different amino acids and all that from different products into this oil, and the flour has a lot of vitamin E, vitamin D. It has a lot of fatty acids, which is great for healthy hair growth.
And for other young people considering the business world and exploring a product of their own,
it takes money to make money. So sometimes you would feel like you're pushing more of your money into the product than you're receiving back. But eventually you will get there, and if it's something you like to do, I would say to press on and continue, because we all know that where we live right now, jobs are scarce. So you're actually becoming your own boss, and eventually you can probably make a job for other Bahamians out there. So you're not just making a difference for yourself. Eventually you would make a difference for your country.
Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Great words of advice and all the best to her. And now it is time to ask the doctor.
Welcome to Ask the Doctor. Daryl from New Providence asks, I read recently that annual checkups are not helpful if you are healthy. Is this true? Daryl, thanks for an interesting question. There are healthcare theorists and planners who argue that there is not much evidence that an annual exam provides good enough health outcomes to justify the cost. But there are still many good reasons to visit your doctor for an annual checkup. Annual physical exams are a vital part of illness prevention and intervention if necessary. While many persons make sure that their children have routine doctor visits, as adults, too many of us neglect this important key to maintaining good physical health. Doctors can use an annual exam to keep abreast of signs and symptoms that could lead to a serious illness. During an exam, your doctor will ask you about your family history and note your vital signs, including your blood pressure, heart rate, respiration rate, and temperature. They can also note changes in your heart, lungs, eyes, skin, and extremities. As we mature and age, the annual exam can also become a useful screening opportunity for certain cancers, as well as serious conditions like diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart disease. Avoiding an annual checkup can increase your risk of developing more serious medical conditions in the future. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
Stay with us. Ricardo Lightborn has a check on sports when we come back.
More on Makeup by Megan Coakley. When you want to look like a star. Phone 443-7979. Grand Bahama, in partnership with the GB Chamber of Commerce, presents Business to Business Expo 2018 on April 26th at Pelican Bay Resort.
Everybody, are you on TV? Look, are you on TV? Mom, guess what it is? That's me. Bartender, do you see me? Are you on television? I gotta tell my girlfriend I'm on television.
Hello?
Babe, turn your television to ZNS.
Quick, are you on television? I don't have a TV in there.
We have Wi-Fi though.
We have Wi-Fi.
That's fine. They upgrade now. You can watch it live from your phone.
You just have to download the app. All right, hold on.
Go to the App Store, type in ZNS, download the app, and you'll be able to watch ZNS straight from your phone. Hurry up and start over again.
Get your news and more anytime, anywhere with the new ZNS app. Stay connected from around the globe with our live stream news updates, all in the palm of your hand. You can also listen to the ZNS Radio Network for your favorite music. Go into your Apple or Google Play Store and download the ZNS app today.
Miss I's a star now. I still gotta pay?
Everybody, welcome to Sports. I'm Ricardo Lightborn, and this one tonight goes out to my very good friend Leroy Miller. Grammy says you behave yourself tonight. Well, the Golden Knight celebration started on Sunday at the Port Lucaine Market Square and continued yesterday with the motorcade and mural dedication. Let's go to Kim Mullings for this one.
The motorcade for the Golden Knights began at the Grand Lucaine Resort, traveling along East Sunrise Highway, and then onto Coral Road, ending at the roundabout on Settlers Way, where a 50-foot mural of the champions would soon be dedicated. The celebrations were organized by the Grand Bahama Port Authority, and the ceremony was moderated by 2000 Olympians Troy McIntosh and Hiram Lewis. Acting chairman of the GB Port Authority, Sarah St. George, says the four champions stand alone but together.
Earth, wind, water, fire. The four knights are sons of the Bahamian soil, or earth. They flow like water, they fly like the wind, and Chris is the fireman.
Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Michael Pintard, believes that it is important to celebrate Bahamian athletes.
If we are to inspire the next generation is going to evaluate what we have done with those who a few years before have held up the flag. And to the extent that they see we represent, by celebrating them, not merely in words, but in practical ways.
Artist Jackie Boss was grateful to be able to bring this piece to life. Golden Knights Michael Matthew and Ramon Miller expressed their gratitude to the GBPA.
I would just like to say thank you for having us. You know, it's been a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure and an honor to be recognized and acknowledged and
the Port Authority did it well.
Knight Demetrius Pinder asked the public to continue to render support to athletes of the future.
Anybody could, help put a hand in and, make it more interesting for athletes, who's actually trying to do it and don't have the support.
Knight Chris Fireman Brown offered advice to up-and-coming athletes.
This is something I think that is very inspiring to the next generation that's behind us. This will show them that hard work does pay off. Hard work is the key to success. Believe in your dreams, never give up. No matter what comes in your way, no matter what hurdles, roadblocks come in your way, continue to push forward.
Following the ceremony, the Legends Marching Band escorted the Knights to the mural for ribbon cutting and the unveiling of each Knight's name, followed by the plaque dedication. Kimberly Mullings, ZNS Toll Sports.
Well, the Grand Bahama Primary Schools Athletic Association is getting ready now for their primary school track and field meet, which started today, and they got two special ladies that they're going to honor. The primary school athletes the track at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex putting in the practice hours for this year's track and field championships. This one will be very special with two former principals honored by St. Paul's Renee Russell and Walter Parker Jacqueline Pinder. For Ms. Russell, former vice principal of St. Paul's College and former athlete, the honor is very special.
There's a saying that goes like this: give me my flowers while I'm alive. And I am honored today to be alive, to be able to see what I've done and what everybody's doing for me.
Retired Principal Ms. Pinder loves sports and children, and to be honored in this unique way is touching.
They say if you live long enough, you will see everything. For me, this is one of those everything, because it is sincerely and truly and genuinely quite an honor to receive this.
Ms. Russell and Pinder showing that they still have just a little bit of something left in that tank. Just a little bit of something, folks. The theme this year, today's athletes, tomorrow's stars, Little Darlings Power. For the first time, the schools in the Isle of Bimini will participate in this year's track and field meet. Well, the Bishop Michael Eldon Warriors are headed to the Penn Relays, folks. You see, the Warriors have actually earned the right to represent the Bahamas in the 4x400 meters and 100 meters relays because of they winning the national championship. Coach Cherish Hollingsworth says the team is excited about making history.
This year in Warrior Land, the BMES boys here, they would have won the 4x4 relays at the high school nationals. These are your national champions at the 4x4 relay, and this is the second year that BMES has won that award. Last year it was our under 20 girls, and so the Ministry of Sports in conjunction with the B3As offers an award grant sort of to go towards that relay travel, and we are the recipients and we're just happy to be a part of it.
Well, the Athens are excited about representing the school at the Penn Relays. Travis Joseph, William Forbes, Emmett Higgins, Bram Najman, and Ty Dawkins. Don't forget Deshaun Joseph ready to travel.
I get to represent my school very well, and I get to experience a lot.
It feels good going to Penn Relays. I get to experience a lot, see a lot of pro athletes run.
It means a lot to go to the Penn Relays because, to get to experience, watch the pro athletes. You get to see them warm up, you get to see them run. You can pick up on some of their habits and learn from the best.
When we travel, we are able to showcase the best of our talents and competing against athletes from all over the world, from Jamaica to States, running in front of international and professional athletes. I hope that we're able to execute, run our game plan, and hopefully we have some fun.
Going to Penn Relays means the world to me. Like Bram said, we've been talking about it since the beginning of the school year, and since our first relays, we gotta go get it. So now running on the big stage, it really feels great, and we're looking to do big things.
And I'm really just going mostly for the exposure, just really see the athletes and everything like that.
And they're going to be leaving tomorrow. Don't forget also the Tabernacle's going down to Providence, Sac, also Queens College. Quite a few schools are going to the Penn Relays. Guys, have a wonderful experience. I think you will enjoy. Let's look at your sports tonight.
See your new colors like never before on the Voice of Color touchscreen digital display. Get your free custom consultation at Paint Fair 352-9788. KMW Battery and Tire is on the move. The leading battery and tire company has moved to its new, more spacious location, #1 West Settlers Way, and it's more than just batteries and tires, but features expanded goods and services from truck tires, oil, air and gas filters, hydraulic tools, air hoses, car mats, and marine and ATV batteries. Experience speedy oil changes and KMW mobile tire repair services. Management and staff at KMW Battery say a big thank you, Grand Bahama, for your support. The leading battery and tire company, #1 West Settlers Way, KMW Battery and Tires.
Influenza or the flu can be serious.
causing hospitalization and sometimes death. One of the best ways to prevent acquiring the flu is to get your annual flu shot. Flu shots are available free of charge at all community clinics. The following high-risk persons are encouraged to get their annual flu shots: children 6 months and older.
This is CBS. Had a good day?
I had a wonderful day.
Rain's coming, girl.
Yeah.
Okay, so you need to get your umbrella and watch out, okay? So please, you guys out there watch it. The rain's going to be crazy, and you got to cover them dogs, girl. Cover them dogs.
Also, we have to say Darren Roll, his daughter, is making that wonderful product, and you need to call her because you did. On behalf of our entire ZNS
girl, I'm coming tomorrow. I got a light boy.
And General Parkinson.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the National Report. The transport minister eyes the maritime industry for a jobs blitz. Also ahead, the group of visitors showing increased interest in the Bahamas as a destination. And water and sewage workers could be the next, weighing the possibility of separation. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Keish Latterly, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. We start tonight with some breaking weather news. The Bahamas Department of Meteorology has issued a severe thunderstorm warning starting at 6:10 this evening, and it'll run until 8 o'clock tonight. Now, a severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for Grand Bahama and Abaco and their adjacent waters. At 6:05 this evening, observation radar satellite imagery and lightning detectors depicted a broad area of showers and thunderstorms associated with a cold front near the central southern Florida area, moving eastward toward the mentioned islands. Now, some of these thunderstorms will be severe at times, causing strong gusty winds, dangerous lightning, heavy downpours, hail, and possible tornado activity. Boaters in the warning area should seek safe harbor, and residents in the warning area should stay indoors and away from windows when conditions worsen. Now, residents should not seek shelter under trees or in water, as these can become lightning conductors. Again, a severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 8 o'clock tonight for Grand Bahama, Abaco, and their adjacent waters, and persons in those areas should take the steps to safeguard themselves. On to other news now. Officials from the Ministry of Transport taking steps to secure jobs for Bahamians in the maritime sector. Vern Carey tells us tonight that officials are working closely with stakeholders in the industry to make that happen. Here's that story.
The Ministry of Transport partnering with stakeholders in the cruise ship industry to secure jobs for Bahamian seafarers. According to Transport Minister the Honorable Frankie Campbell, that partnership is already reaping dividends. He said that more than 200 jobs have been secured for Bahamians on board one of the major cruise ships.
I've made it one of my missions to attempt to put a real live Bahamian on every ship that bears our flag. And to that extent, conversations in the industry has resulted in what I mentioned earlier. I believe it's Royal Caribbean, who has agreed that they will hire 250 locals, and they've already begun a partnership with the National Training Agency, who's preparing those 250 persons.
The Transport Minister said Carnival Cruise Lines has also agreed to provide berths to assist in the training efforts of students at the Lowell J. Mortimer Maritime Academy. This as efforts continue to raise awareness among Bahamians to the employment opportunities available in the maritime sector.
We have to defy the myth that Bahamians do not want to go out to sea. We have to do that by ensuring that young Bahamians are aware of all of the possibilities that exist on a ship, from engineering to hospitality service, etc. Because it has been the thought that you go on a ship and you're away from home without giving thought to the things that you can learn and be able to apply after your life on the ship. Financing, maritime law, becoming an agent.
The Transport Minister lauded the Maritime Academy for helping to equip young Bahamians for jobs in international shipping.
We believe that the Bahamas has the capacity to produce a competent and qualified workforce to compete at a global level for shipboard jobs. Achieving employment within the sector would not only boost the nation's profile, but also attract investment, which will generate economic benefits for the country.
Now preparations are already underway for the first ever Maritime Week in May. It will raise awareness to the countless opportunities available in the maritime sector. Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.
The Ministry of Tourism announced on Monday that the Bahamas will facilitate the entry of Indian nationals who hold Schengen, U.S., UK, or Canadian visas. Minister of Immigration, the Honorable Brent Simonet, says the decision was made based on seeing the increase in the number of Indian visitors coming to the Bahamas. He confirms the Bahamian and Indian governments are also in the process of signing a visa waiver for diplomatic passports. Currently, Indian travelers have to go to the British High Commission to apply, and they reportedly hold those passports for an average of 45 days. As it stands, the immigration minister says the Bahamas is not user-friendly for Indian visitors, and the government is looking to change that.
They tend to stay for quite a long period of time because obviously the distance they're traveling. So what the government has considered is that persons with Indian passports who have either a U.S. visa, a Canadian visa, British residency visa, or a Schengen visa will be allowed entry into the Bahamas, and they'll get their visa at the airport on payment of a fee of $100. And we now have to come up with the mechanism whereby when you land at the airport, whether you use a credit card, you do it online.
And when does that take effect?
We're trying to get it in as soon as we can. Okay. It's the mechanisms that are holding us up.
The Water and Sewage Corporation could be seeing some structural changes. These will include operations and business procedures. Chairman Adrian Gibson says there will also be voluntary separation package offers.
And right-sizing and restructuring and realigning, all options must be on the table in an effort to move the corporation towards profitability. There are various approaches that we will take. The reality is voluntary separation packages will be on the table, and persons will decide voluntarily, of course, and with incentives if they wish to leave the corporation's employ. And I think we want to do it as humanely as possible when that time does come, but in an effort to right-size and realign the corporation and move it towards a point of profitability.
Now, the corporation now grapples with a deficit of more than $150 million. Regarding its operations and efficiency, Mr. Gibson says the corporation will be working closely with the Bahamas Power and Light Company and other entities.
What we want to do is find ways to collaborate on fronts such as automated meter reading, a one-stop centralized call center, family island offices, for example. How we could collaborate with respect to rental spaces, pooling our activities such as road reinstatement, and coordinating activities. So one of us don't go and do something and the other one comes right behind and digs it up or does the same thing. And of course, there are personnel matters that we are having discussions on, and that includes restructuring, possible restructuring. As you can see, BPL is taking a look at, or has restructured and moved away from a corporation structure where you have a general manager to more of a business-like corporate structure where you have now a CEO. WSC is looking to go in that direction as well.
The government recently formed a committee to look at implementing local government for New Providence. Well, today, Minister for Transport and Local Government, the Honorable Frankie Campbell, confirmed to the media that Senator Raynard Henfield has been appointed to chair that 10-member committee. Minister Campbell is hoping to have local government in place in New Providence by the time the next local government elections roll around in 2020.
They were given the mandate to consider the legislation that exists, to consider the practices that are going on in the Family Islands now, and to see how effective and efficient they are before we move into considering local government in New Providence. The committee is excited. The committee is a non-partisan committee. I'm satisfied that with this excitement, we will get a timely report from the committee. As a matter of fact, they've committed to give a progress report by the end of August.
Well, still ahead tonight, farmers meet with the Ministry of Agriculture to grow their industry. Stay tuned. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report.
This portion of the news is brought to you by the new Shell & Letty, designed for extra miles.
This is the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. This is Commonwealth Bank. And no matter how, no matter where, no matter what, Commonwealth Bank is here for you. Commonwealth Bank, everything we do it for you.
Every day you wake up with the world in the palm of your hand. Making connections and creating memories and sharing them with the people you care about. Every day the world is at your fingertips, and you can experience every blockbuster movie in stunning HD and top 100 Billboard music hit with the touch of a button. Every day, your family and friends are important to you, and staying in touch no matter where you are in the Bahamas or the world is your #1 priority. And that's why, every day for over 100 years, BTC has been there to ensure that every Bahamian has the best connection to the world. We cover every island, rock and key, regardless of the cost. This is BTC Country.
Accepted. You're always sharing everything. You share the umbrella, the weekend, the blanket, and even your favorite towel. We know that you always share, but not KFC's genuine big box, made fresh for only you, with 2 pieces of chicken, 2 spicy wings, coleslaw, fries, biscuit, a cookie, and a soda, all for just $10 including VAT. Easy to enjoy, hard to share.
Keep in touch with everybody. It's BTC every day. Every day. Every island and every key. Keep in touch with everybody. It's BTC every day.
Flow is once again lending its support to our junior athletes by its sponsorship of these Carifta Games here in Nassau. And one of the must-dos you have to do when you come out this weekend is check out our Flow booth.
Here at the Flow BTC booth, and we do have all of our sales team present here today, and they're actually uploading the app on everybody's devices, those persons who want to experience Flow sports. So if you want to watch wrestling and all of the great exciting sports initiatives that takes place, you can actually watch it through Flow Sports app. When you look at the Carifta Games, I remember when I was growing up, it was the Mary Ann Higgs, Pauline Davis and those. Now you have so many young, talented Bahamians. They just need to be afforded an opportunity. So the Carifta Games, it's a vital sponsorship pillar for BTC and of course Flow.
All weekend long in the inside of the stadium, it is all about these junior athletes. But on the outside, Flow is helping to bring smiles to tons of its customers' faces. And we'll see you next BTC Connection.
Every island and every key. Keep in touch with everybody. It's BTC every day. Every day, every day, every day, every day is
Hey Jimmy, want some ice cream?
No, I'll pass.
Hey Jimmy, we're going to get that new video game. You want to chip in?
Later for that, son. I got bigger plans for my money.
At Bank of the Bahamas, we teach our junior account holders the benefits of saving and how to get a head start in life. Wow! Open your Bank of the Bahamas junior account today.
This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Welcome back. In news from the courts tonight, the appellate court has overturned the 4-year sentence of Tivona Martin Artiles, who was convicted along with her husband for firearms possession 3 years ago. This after the court emphasized the exceptional and unique circumstances in the case that included the fact that the couple's son has a severe disability and needs constant medical attention and care by his family, especially his mother. A social services report also revealed that the only person capable of adequately taking care of the child is his mother. After setting aside Artiles' sentence, the court ordered her to pay $10,000 or face 3 years in prison. She has 3 months to pay the money. Artiles' husband was also sentenced to 4 years behind bars. However, that sentence was reduced to 3 years on appeal. He remains behind bars tonight. Well, Health Minister Dr. Dwayne Sands made a long overdue promise to lab professionals at the Princess Margaret Hospital as they celebrate Lab Week. DeAndre Williamson tells us more about the promise to increase salaries.
Lab professionals at the Princess Margaret Hospital can expect more competitive salaries. Minister of Health Dr. Dwayne Sands delivered the good news during the opening ceremony of Medical Laboratory Professionals Week.
My pledge to support the re-examination an increase in salary scales for health professionals working in medical laboratory careers. And we will do this as a part of a larger review across our health system with an eye to addressing health careers where the country is facing critical shortfalls in staffing and recruitment. Likewise, I am also committed to engaging with the PHA and the Ministry of Health in a dialogue with respect to providing greater incentives to attract and retain laboratory professionals and other allied health professionals.
Dr. Sands says the government also looks forward to providing additional training for lab professionals.
Ultimately, I hope that with the assistance of those of you in the professions and the guidance of relevant experts, that we will seek to implement a medical technology program locally through the University of the Bahamas to facilitate the education, the training, and the certification of new lab professionals up to the baccalaureate level right here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Lab professionals welcome the good news. They say the incentives will go a long way in boosting staff morale and performance.
I think the position for salary increase and incentives is long overdue. I think we in the lab, we work extremely hard. We give 110%, and I think that this is welcome doors to us, and you can see bigger and better things from the lab, both here in PMH and around the entire Bahamas.
We just want to invite those science students out there into the field of medical technology. It's an exciting field. It's a promising field, and with the promise now of the minister to review and upgrade the salaries of medical technologists, we are sure we'll be able to attract even more science, high school type students who will be interested in the field of laboratory.
Lab Week began on April 22nd and will end on April 28th. Following the opening ceremony, Dr. Sands toured the laboratory exhibition displayed in the foyer of the critical care block at the Princess Margaret Hospital. For ZNS Network News, I'm DeAndre Williamson.
Education Minister Jeffrey Lloyd wants to get a stagnant education system moving again, motivating stakeholders in his ministry to make the changes that will get the desired results. Addressing a one-day conclave at the British Colonial Hilton on Monday, Minister Lloyd said a lot is riding on ridding the system of decades-old policy.
Education is a fundamental right.
And secondly, it's everybody's business.
Education Minister Jeffrey Lloyd wants to change the culture of education. He told the Ministry of Education conclave Monday that passing the test is key to the country's bottom line.
The world is not going to wait for us to catch up. They're gone. They don't have to do business with the Bahamas. We must understand this. The investors don't have to come here. And by the way, we need investment from foreigners. So don't let nobody tell you otherwise. They're lying to you. We need. It's indispensable to the growth of our economy.
Achieving that, he says, will mean changing the status quo, legislating change, adhering to the protocols that makes things happen, and reacting when they don't.
We must continuously assess. We cannot put, in our case, Education Act was revised in 1996, 22 years ago. Hardly a reassessment since. That can't work for us. Perpetual assessment. And friends, I may like you. I may think that you wear some of the nicest clothes. I consider you to be one of the finest human beings on God's earth. But at the end of the day, it's about what you produce.
Minister Lloyd also zeroed in on curriculum development, referring to an overbearing primary school course load.
Dr. Linda Davis commissioned a study 18 years ago through the United, IDB, Dr. Davis, Inter-American Development Bank. And she said then, as a consultant to the IDB, that there were too many subjects in the primary school. 18 years ago. Go back to the slide where I said, execute. We've done our talking, and we're going to make it relevant.
Altering the school maintenance schedule to include incidental repairs throughout the year is also a priority. And changing the culture, Minister Lloyd says, will mean ensuring that 8,000 3-year-olds currently not accommodated by certified institutions are put into the system. And Minister Lloyd is leading by example, speaking to teachers about new ways of approaching learning.
Again, this is what the OAS taught me. You are no longer just a facilitator. You are more than that. You are a co-producer of data. The child in the classroom or the student in the classroom is with you a co-producer of knowledge. You understand that? So you are there as a participant in the knowledge creation experience. We have got to train our people into that awareness. And we are going to make that happen as quickly as possible.
A small team headed by Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis will present a white paper on an economic empowerment zone to restore the inner city community during a town hall meeting set for Wednesday, May 2nd at the C.R. Walker High School. Press Secretary Anthony Newbold talked about some of the topics to be discussed at that time.
This white paper will outline the tax incentives and nuances of how that program will work to provide economic relief to the inner city. What will also be discussed during that town meeting, some of the targeted programs and initiatives to improve the lives of all residents over the hill, and certainly for some of those areas that are troubled by any number of things.
In other news tonight, nearly 1,000 jobs will be granted to Bahamians who qualify after applying for the vacant positions offered during the Labor on the Blocks initiatives here in the capital and in the nation's second city. Press Secretary Anthony Newbold told reporters today during that weekly press briefing that there are many jobs still readily available for persons seeking employment.
Some of those who applied for jobs during those initiatives are still being evaluated. And we talk about jobs. We need to remember, everyone needs to remember, there's some jobs that are still going wanting. The Department of Labor says we need carpenters, we need welders, we need nurses and teachers, we need quantity surveyors. These are jobs that are still available.
Residents of Bain and Grantstown flocked to a pop-up farmers market on Meadow Street on Saturday. The Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation is now facilitating farmers markets in 2 locations. In addition to its Gladstone Road site, vendors set up shop at the Mother Butler Park from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., selling fresh vegetables and fruits at affordable prices. The pop-up market initiative was launched by BAIC 13 weeks ago. It complements a Ministry of Health push to encourage the nation to adopt healthier eating habits. Centerville, St. Barnabas, and Engliston are other constituencies where the market is expected to next appear. BAIC also wants to have a farmers market pop-up in eastern New Providence.
The price is very reasonable and is much convenience instead of going all the way to Port of Ski, because you can't, everybody have chance to go to Port of Ski to get, to get stuff like this. And it's really reasonable. I love sweet potato. I'm a freak for sweet potatoes, and I have my onions, the big ones and the small ones that you slice.
Well, several farmers from across the country got the opportunity to voice their concerns and dialogue with the Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources, the Honorable Renward Wells, during a closed session at the Golden Gates World Outreach Ministries Hall last evening. Minister Wells says the meeting was all a part of the ministry's strategy to become more efficient.
And this is a part of our 4-pronged strategy for this year for having a reset in agriculture. The first was with BAIC doing the pop-up farmers market at Gladstone Road. Then we did the expo, which is a farmers market on a much grander and larger scale. And now we're actually meeting with the stakeholders, the farmers directly, to hear their concerns. And then we're going to be having a convention, a 2-day convention for farmers from all over the country, where we introduce them to the new requisite technology.
Now, before the candid discussions with agricultural officials, we spoke to the operations manager for Abaco Big Bird Farms, Lance Pinder, who told us he expects to have a productive meeting and move the farming industry to the next level.
Well, we're very glad the minister's having the meeting and engaging the farmers, and we hope that we can hash out ideas and find a way to move the Bahamas forward with having better food security, or food sovereignty, as the minister named it the other day, because these are important issues, and the industry's struggled for many years, and we really need some ideas to get it moving.
Local water producer KLG Investments has received the Best Buy Award for the best quality ratio for its Aquapure brand and bottled water. The prestigious internationally renowned award is an endorsement of products, services, or goods which meet strict international quality standards at a reasonable price. LaDawn Davis spoke with Aquapure executives about what the award means for the business.
They say H2O is a vital source of life, and for more than 4 decades, Aquapure has been providing its customers with that key source across this country. It's a commitment by the brand that has stood the test of time, and recently it paid off after the company received the Best Buy Award for the best price and quality ratio by the International Certification Association based in Switzerland. It's an award Christian Knowles says caught the company by surprise.
We pride ourselves on our quality and the lengths in which we go to make sure that we have a very, very quality-centric product. We were very, very happy, very surprised when we found out. The Best Buy Award has to do with price-quality ratio, which made us even more happy because, we're not the cheapest on the market.
Aquapure's manager Christian Knowles says despite an uptick in business for bottled water over the years, the sale for Tampico has declined.
We've not had a very, very good year, and we we chalked that up to the reduction in duty. Last year they reduced the juice duty by about 50%, and our sales have gone down significantly because of the duty rate.
But that decline hasn't stopped the leading bottled water producer from reaping positive results. A few days ago, Aquapure received news of winning the QDOL medal for the 2nd time around. As the company continues to grow, Knowles assured its valuable customers that several new products could hit the shelves real soon.
We have a few things that we're looking at. You know, it's always good to kind of keep your eye down the road. You know, manufacturing, in particular beverage manufacturing, when it comes to new products, there is a formula and there's a methodology that goes into launching new products, and we have a few that we're looking at right now. I don't want to say anything yet, but we may be coming out with something. We may not be coming out with something. It depends on the WTO. What's going to happen? Are we going to invest in new things, or are we going to have a different fight for a different day? I think that's important.
LaDawn Davis, ZNS Network News.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm DeAndre Williamson. As the 2018 hurricane season approaches, more Grand Bahama residents receive checks to repair their roofs which were damaged during last year's storm. 610 homeowners received the financial assistance as part of the government's National Repair Program. Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Works, R.M. Lewis, urged residents to ensure that their homes are repaired properly and comply with the country's building codes. In other business news, on the local exchange, Arawaki Port Development Limited traded 50 shares to close unchanged at $17.43 per share. Cable Bahamas traded 4,000 shares to close unchanged at $3.35 per share. And in international business news, U.S. equity markets extended declines, hitting session lows on Tuesday afternoon, with the Dow on track to a fifth straight session of losses. The S&P 500 index fell 0.32% to $2,661.75. Oil prices turned slightly lower after earlier rise to a more than 3-year high. West Texas Intermediate fell 0.22% or 15 cents to $68.49 per barrel. That was your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm DeAndre Williamson.
Know how you can save more money, save more time, earn more interest, and have more for the future? The solution is an account from Fidelity Bank. With our ASU Savings, Fixed Deposits, and Preferred Client program, you can get free financial advice from our team of experts, competitive interest rates, and free online banking for simple and safe banking anytime, anywhere. Open a fixed deposit or savings account with Fidelity by visiting a branch today. Get into the rhythm of saving with Fidelity. Fidelity, we're good for you.
I've been a customer for the past 2 years, and I will say the quality of the service is very good. During my trip to Andros, I was connected the entire trip, so that was really good. I was able to contact my family members and let them know how the trip was going. We touched land, we're here, so it was very good, and I really appreciate that. And also during times like when we had the storm, it was really good to have that service to reach out to our loved ones to make sure everyone is okay. And I really appreciate a lot for that. And even when there's a little technical difficulty, they always send out a little text message to let us know exactly what's going on. I'm happy to be alive, and I believe in best.
Feel like eating something tasty that's good for you? SuperValue can help you create the perfect meal when you visit the salad bars. Filled with all the nutritional choices that are good for you, our salad bars make the perfect lunch or snack, anytime and any day of the week. Eat smart, eat healthy. Join the lunch bunch at a SuperValue salad bar, including the quality markets, including quality stamps. SuperValue, the Bahamian supermarkets.
Free, reliable, anytime, anywhere, and instant. That's the benefits of using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Pay bills, check account balances, transfer funds, and more. Enjoy the freedom of banking on your own terms. Why wait in line? Save time. Do your banking using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean to find out more.
If you own a portfolio of securities within a brokerage account, like stocks, bonds, or mutual funds, you can access a hassle-free loan, known as a margin loan, based on the value of that portfolio. Your investment portfolio is essentially used as collateral for a cash loan. And the benefits are numerous. Simple and straightforward application, quick turnaround, a more competitive interest rate, no requirement for monthly payments. Contact us for more information on margin loans.
Coca-Cola Bahamas has always been a strong community partner for us. They've supported and helped us to
reach hundreds of young men through Sprite basketball,
create a fun and interactive United FC,
go a little bit further for our animal friends,
feed thousands of Bahamians every year,
preserve our natural habitat,
and celebrate Bahamian culture and Junkanoo on pastry.
The Caribbean Bottling Team is committed to the communities that we serve around the entire Bahamas.
There's only one place to find it all, and it's right here at the Builders Mall, where our friendly staff will provide you with everything your project needs.
From electrical supplies to lighting design.
An array of bathroom and plumbing fixtures.
Tools, lumber, shingles, and roofing materials.
Everything for the contractor.
Or the do-it-yourselfer. For the perfect finishing touch, it's the Paint Center.
For a rainbow worth of colors, try Valspar Premium Paint.
Along with Minmax stains to help you finish the job.
Come, stop by next door at Tile King
and browse an exquisite selection of tiles from around the world.
Plus, granite countertops and medallions.
Setting materials on a full line of Ruby tools for the wall, floor, patio, or pool.
Our standard is superior customer service.
And we are guaranteed to provide you with everything you need and more.
So don't waste time running from place to place. Find it all at Builders Mall.
Welcome back. Well, Who Do You Call? Our weekly feature at this time today features a Ministry of Tourism official on the goal of getting more heads in beds. But this time the goal is to get Bahamians to go back to the islands. Here's Sieska Adderley.
Officials at the Bahama Island Promotions Board have one goal, and that's to drive more traffic to the family islands. It's what prompted them to begin its fly-free, cruise-free promotion as they look to attract visitors, especially locals.
So it's more about reconnecting with culture, exploring your roots. Maybe you have family in Eleuthera, but you've never been there. This is a great way to kind of begin your journey.
But how does it work?
You stay 2 nights, and you will get 1 round-trip ticket free. You stay 4 nights or more and you get 2 round-trip tickets free. Now, I know a lot of people don't really understand the basis of it, but there are 3 ways you can actually get this offer. You can use Majestic Holidays. You book through them, they will make the discounted rate for their ticket for you. You can go to bahamago.com/deals. It's like our Bahamian Expedia, so you can purchase the hotels and tickets. They will deduct the ticket cost for you, and you can book directly at any of our hotels. And this particular method, you would have to purchase your airfare. But when you get to the hotel, they will deduct that cost off of your hotel folio or your checkout cost.
Since the promotion began 3 years ago, Sweeting says the response has been overwhelmingly positive.
Year over year, we have about 17 to 20% increase in people using the domestic tourist offer. People are actually talking about it a little more. We still have a bit of work to do getting the information out there. But so far, it's been tremendous.
So if you're looking to take advantage of this offer, you have the option of staying at any of the board's 42 hotel member properties from Bimini to Acklands. There's also the cruising option utilizing the Bohingi Ferry service. To learn more about how you can cruise or fly free, log on to www.bahamasresidents.com or call them at 322-1140. But if you have any other consumer-related issues, call me at 502-3871, and together we'll figure out who to call. C.S. Scatterly, ZNS Network News.
Well, sounds like a plan. Stay tuned. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. We'll be back after this break.
Free, reliable, anytime, anywhere, and instant. That's the benefits of using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Pay bills, check account balances, transfer funds, and more. Enjoy the freedom of banking on your own terms. Why wait in line? Save time. Do your banking using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean to find out more.
performance speaks for itself. Pennzoil Synthetics, made from natural gas. Make the switch.
To the greatest mother in the world, thank you. Happy Mother's Day from the both of us.
This is for me.
Oh my gosh!
So this is what we doing now? Okay, bro, watch this. For me, I have a surprise for you. Come with me.
You got to be kidding me.
Don't let your sibling one-up you this Mother's Day. Come on down to Connaught Bahamas and catch their Mother's Day sale today.
At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we provide imaging services to meet all your family's needs. Same goes for imaging at Grosvenor. We're the imaging experts. We never schedule multiple appointments, so you'll be in and out in no time. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiology specialist can consult your doctor and conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Results are ready within 24 hours. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
Well, it's time for your first check of weather. We check in with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. It wasn't a bad day today, except those pop-ups of severe weather warnings. Basil, how's it looking now?
Well, we had some showers in the vicinity, nothing much land here in New Providence, but certainly around Abaco and Grand Bahama, we still have a severe weather warning in place for those two islands and their adjacent waters. More details on that coming up later in the newscast. But right now, we're going to take a look at temperatures around the Falmouth Islands, and they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 70 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama under heavy thunderstorms. Also Greentoll Key in Abaco, 70 and heavy showers. Marsh Abaco, 78 degrees. In the Berry Islands, 80 degrees. 80 also in Alistown, Bimini. Here in the capital, 82 degrees. Harper Island, Eleuthera, 79. Rock Sound, Eleuthera at 80. Staniel Key, 81. 81 also in Kemps Bay, St. Andrews, Fresh Creek in Central Andros. In San Salvador, Rum Key, Otterstown, Cat Island, Georgetown, Exuma, all at 79 degrees. In Crooked Island, Clarencetown, Long Island, Ragged Island, 80. 78 in Betsy Bay, Mayaguana, Acton, 78 degrees. Matthew Town, Inagua, 82. And the Turks and Caicos Islands at 80 degrees. Your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. In the northwestern parts of our country, the winds are going to be southwest to west, just ahead of the cold front, which is heading our way. The speed's not too bad, 10 to 15 knots, but they will be gusting near those showers and thunderstorms. Wave heights 2 to 4 feet higher in gusts. Low tide, 9:28 tonight. For the central and southeastern islands, winds southeast to south, 10 to 15 knots, and the wave heights also at 2 to 4 feet. Tomorrow, in the northwestern islands, winds are westerly at about 10 to 15 knots, but in the afternoon behind the front, it will swing out of the northwest. Speeds unchanged, wave heights 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. The low tide tomorrow will occur at 10:10 in the morning, high tide at 4:18 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands tomorrow, the winds remaining southeast to south at 10 to 15 knots over the ocean. And then on Thursday, for all areas, we're going to have a southeast to south flow at 10 to 15 knots and the wave heights at 2 to 4 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It is time now for your travel forecast, and your travel forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. That's going to do it for your travel forecast brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is coming up in about 15 minutes.
Welcome to Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Weight loss is a health priority for many Bahamians. When we are overweight, we are at a much higher risk of diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, certain cancers, and even mood disorders like depression, and anxiety. If you add 30 minutes of brisk walking to your daily routine, you could burn about 150 more calories a day. To lose a pound a week, you generally need to eliminate 500 calories a day. Of course, the more you walk and the quicker your pace, the more calories you'll burn. To reap the most health benefits from your exercise intensity must generally be at a moderate or vigorous level. For weight loss, the more intense your exercise or the longer you exercise, the more calories you burn. However, balance is important. Overdoing it can increase your risk of soreness, injury, and burnout. If you're new to regular exercise and physical activity, you may need to start out at a light intensity and gradually build up to a moderate, vigorous intensity. Eating fewer calories through dietary changes seems to promote weight loss more effectively than even physical activity. Combining 30 minutes of walking with sensible eating habits can make a difference. Commit to losing weight through healthy eating and exercise and improve your health starting today. This has been Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Live your best life by living well.
Meet the Smith family. They're on vacation in the Caribbean. Since they aren't familiar with the islands and they want no hassle of renting a car, they downloaded Get Me Ride from their App Store, a transport service in the Caribbean to provide safe and reliable transportation. All they need to do is open the app, input their location, and set their destination. Next time you need a ride, let Get Me Ride be there for you.
Life happens, and when it does, FG Insurance Agents and Brokers is here. We help you protect the assets you've worked hard to attain. We offer home, auto, marine, commercial, and liability insurance. Don't hesitate to protect what matters with FG Insurance Agents and Brokers. Visit us and speak to your agent today, or call us at 396-1490 in Nassau or 688-1500 in Freeport.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Kelsey Johnson. Welcome to Sports Tuesday. One of the biggest boxing cards to hit the Bahamas in as many years will be hosted in the Second City on May 26. The Backyard Rumble will feature son of the Saul Sherman the Tank Williams in a 10-rounder. Williams will square off with the former light heavyweight champion of the world, Ipano Dynamite Mendoza from Colombia.
Yeah, the future is looking bright. The fight here will be on the 27th in April, and then in May 26, we're looking with Bahamian Sons to kick off the first show in Freeport, Bahamas, and you know, this is going to be spectacular. It's going to be a platform where fighters from all over the world can come and show their abilities, but most importantly, we can start to build Freeport, my hometown.
Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Michael Pintard, also announced major boxing plans for the country and the direction he believes the sport should head in.
Sports is certainly one of the largest revenue earners as well as employment creators in the world. The Caribbean is late to that discussion in terms of fully appreciating the value of sports. Boxing is a part of our history, and we believe that we are in the midst of a revival of boxing in the country. When I had the opportunity to look at the Boxing Commission and give consideration to the persons who might help transform boxing in the country, it was a no-brainer to recommend Fred Stirrup as the Boxing Commissioner to lead this charge. What has happened as a result of it is really quite significant. Fred Stirrup has worked with any number of persons, and you will see during the course of this year, a number of the international boxing promoters will be coming to the Bahamas with major events. Discussions have already commenced with Bahama and other providers of facilities so that we can begin this process of putting us once again on the map as an international destination for boxing events.
The Bahama boys are on the sizzling sands this weekend, playing a tough side in the Bahamas Beach Soccer Cup. The men's national team will kick it up with Mexico on Friday, Spain on Saturday, and the USA on Sunday. They need your support at all 3 matches.
The Bahama boys want you guys out there, seated by 5. The first game started at 6, but it's going to be a jam-packed stadium, so come out at 5 to watch the first game, and then we'll be right there at 7:15 kickoff, April 27th to the 29th.
I'll say to the Bahamian fans, we've been training very, very hard the past 6-7 weeks. We've put in the work, and so we've prepared ourselves for you guys to come out and have a great show for this tournament. So all we ask is each person to come on out, bring your cowbells, bring your colors, bring everything to root on the Bahamas, and that's all we need, and we're going to get the job done.
Yolette McPhee-McQuinn has hit the court and she's ready to make the shot. It has only been 2 weeks since she has been named head coach of the University of Mississippi women's basketball team.
Everything's really busy because we have a huge recruiting weekend coming up, and at the same time I'm trying to assemble the right staff here for the University of Mississippi while working with the team and the roster, trying to figure out who's going to go and who's going to stay. So it's been very busy, very intense, but I'm embracing it all. I'm going to make a hire today on the staff, and then I have about 6 other spots I need to fill, but 2 more coaches and then support staff. But it's just been an incredible joy. The support I've had from everybody has been tremendous, and you know, it's a tough job. It's a lot of work to do, but I'm ready for the challenge.
The 2 professional women's basketball players, Jonquel Jones and Waltia Roll, working out together. Both are home and are training during their off-season. Jones plays in the WNBA with Connecticut Sun. Roll is in the Europe League, playing with Edgemit of Turkey. The softball season is fast approaching, and the defending champions in the women's division, the Sunshine Auto Wildcats, are sharpening their claws. Here's Amajal Knowles with the reports.
With the New Providence Softball Association 2018 season set to begin this coming Saturday, teams are gearing up to start things off on the right foot. And one of those teams are the defending champs in the women's division, the Sunshine Auto Wildcats. After coming back from a 2-0 deficit in last year's championship series to take the crown, the Wildcats are not resting on their laurels and have been hard at work preparing to defend their title. Head coach Anthony Bullard.
Well, we've been practicing from February. Like you see, most of the girls in here, because they've been practicing straight through. And you know, the high school practicing, so I mean, having a game, so we have to come, right? But Wildcats, everybody out, ready.
A few new faces added to the mix, but the coach says he expects similar success this year.
You see, when you win, everybody got in for you, right? And I had to pick up a few players. I got Tila, right? And she's gonna play a big role because you know Mary left us. Mary retired, so I got Tila and a few others. A couple of girls coming back from school, and I got one Rika here. She's the captain, and she helping the team. I got Mr. Moss helping me out. Hyson, you know, we're gonna be ready.
As far as the bullseye on their back being the top dog, Bullard says he isn't worried.
Well, once you're Wildcats, they coming after you. Win or lose, they coming after you. Because once they beat the Wildcats, they know they beat a great team. You know, so what we can do now is preparing for everybody coming, one at a time. Line up.
And after spending some time with the ladies and watching them get ready for the season, I took it upon myself to take a few swings and hope that I could knock one out the park. Safe to say that didn't go so well. Again, the season opens up this Saturday at 7 p.m. For ZNS Told Sports, I'm Amajal Knowles.
Thank you so much, Amajal. That's all the time we have for sports. I'm Kelsey Johnson.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Rugs, carpet tiles, ceramic tiles, floor mats, even vinyl flooring. Find them all at Wright's Carpet Masters, located on Bernard Road. Let them cater to your home or your office needs, and you can choose from a variety of carpets, floor mats, cashmere, oriental rugs, and area rugs. And if you can't come to us, we will bring the business to you, offering free estimates and deliveries to the Family Islands. Wright's Carpet Masters will get it right for you. Located on Burnett Road, telephone number 364-1260.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
BTC is giving the gift of rollover data, plus free unlimited WhatsApp calls, texts, pictures, and videos. Choose from our 1-day plan for $349, 7-day plan for $9.99, or a 15-day plan for only $29.99. We've even thrown in unlimited BTC to BTC calls and texts. Dial *203# to activate your plan today. Share every moment with BTC. Terms and conditions apply.
The month of May Mother's Day Prize Palooza. Just buy these products and enter to win great gift cards or cash for your mom. There'll be 2 winners every week in the month of May Mother's Day Prize Palooza.
Carlton Bowleg. Now that Bahamas residents can fly or cruise free to the Family Islands, what are your summer vacation plans?
Go to North Andros and the Berry Islands.
And there is no better time than now with the 2 Fly or Cruise Free promotion, where all residents of the Bahamas can fly or cruise free to the Family Islands from Nassau. Refresh, reconnect, and unwind in the Family Islands. For details, go to bahamasresidents.com and fly or cruise free to the Family Islands today.
Agriculture Now returns to the ZNS Network Thursday, May 3rd. Learn about the country's capacity to feed itself through farming and fishing, and the importance of these industries to the economy. And find out how you can grow some of your own food right in your backyard. Tune into Agriculture Now beginning Thursday, May 3rd at 8:30 p.m. right here on the ZNS Network.
Happily married with 8 children, Mully felt God calling them to sell everything. That call came in 1986 after a face-to-face encounter with children begging on the street.
I was really tormented by these boys in the street. I saw faces of me and I could not walk anymore. I cried, why is it that God wanted me to take me back again?
Hey, have you heard? ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Whether you're on the move or just kicking back. Miss something on the news? It's there. Want to keep up with a live update? It's there. Or just want to listen to your favorite station? It's there too. Download the app now from the App Store and Google Play Store.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, a severe thunderstorm warning is in place for Grand Bahama and Abaco and their adjacent waters up until 8 o'clock, which is in about a minute or so, and we'll have to check with the Met Office and see whether or not they're going to upgrade that. But nevertheless, some heavy showers and thunderstorms remain over the extreme northwestern part of the country. That's associated with some prefrontal activity. The front itself will expect to go through the northwest Bahamas tomorrow afternoon. Behind that, things will dry out quite nicely, but that front will stall and then back up on Thursday over the northwest Bahamas before pushing back towards the south. So it will be vacillating over the northwest Bahamas over the next couple of days, keeping the showers in place heading into the weekend. Tonight, we're going in for partly cloudy conditions with showers and isolated thunderstorms in our forecast. Hot low temperature getting down to 72 degrees. And tomorrow, it's going to be a blend of sun and clouds, showers and thunderstorms remaining in the mix, particularly along that frontal boundary. High temperature tomorrow about 85 degrees. And your 7-day forecast looking like this. Showers in the forecast right into Thursday, drying out just a bit on Friday, but on Saturday, those showers come back as that front once again start to push through the northwest Bahamas, and it will be on Sunday before you can see quite a bit of sunshine, and that should hopefully take us into the early part of next week.
All right, sounds good, Basil. Thanks a lot. That does it for us in the Bahamas tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, thanks so much for looking in. Have a good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station. Agriculture now returns to the